Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about the Realme 10 that just landed here in Malaysia. This is actually a very special device because it's offering a lot of features for a very little amount of money. Now just in terms of price, since I'm talking about that, let's start off the video right away with the price. This is retailing in Malaysia for RM999 and you get 8GB of RAM with 256GB of internal memory. Listen to that guys, it's not any of the 64GB, 128GB kind of internal memory guys, it's 256 right off the bat. So what are you really getting for your money? Well, let's find out. Alright, so I'm going to begin first and foremost with the designs guys. We do have here two very minimalist looking kind of designs here. The colors are slightly different and it really depends on your personal preference. Either ways, I think you should be able to find something that you really like. Now what I really like about this design here is we have a very flat frame that makes it feel a little bit more premium. It doesn't feel like a 1,000 ringgit device, it feels more expensive than that. If you look at the frames itself, on the right you do have the volume rocker. Moving down, you have that fingerprint scanner which is actually fairly quick. And right at the bottom here, you do have the Type-C port. You have a single firing speaker that actually gets quite loud. And last but not least, you still have that favorite headphone jack. So everything that you need is actually on here, although I would have preferred to see a dual stereo speakers. But I can understand that for this price range here, you're getting a pretty solid kind of design and build quality. Now moving on, what else can we talk about here? In terms of the performance, I think you might be curious to know about that. We actually do have the Helio G99 in here, which is approximately 40 to 50% more powerful than last year's Snapdragon 680 in terms of benchmark scores. But how does that really translate to real world use? Well, if you are a gamer, like myself, I have been playing Mobile Legends on this device here and I noticed that it was actually quite smooth. It was able to go up to ultra graphics and high frame rate and everything just felt very smooth and lag free on this device, which I very appreciated here. Other than that, if you are a PUBG player, like Realme has said that they have done a couple of tests and this device will be able to do at least like 40 FPS consistently with PUBG on this Realme 10. So pretty impressive stuff right there for such an affordable device. Alright, so let's move on and talk about the RAM and storage which I mentioned earlier on. You have 8GB of RAM which you can expand by another 8GB, so total of 16GB. And in terms of that memory, it's 256GB, but it doesn't stop there. It also supports micro SD support all the way up to 1TB. The cool thing about this micro SD card slot is that it is a dedicated card slot. That means you can put in 2 SIM cards plus the additional micro SD. So pretty impressive there because you don't have to worry about storage whatsoever on the Realme 10. At the end of the day, the experience that you will get here is a slightly smoother experience and you will be able to have more apps running in the background with all that additional RAM. Alright, so that's just in terms of the performance and the RAM, but what else do we have here? Well, at the front, the display is also very important. What you have here is actually an AMOLED panel that shows great colors. You also have a 90Hz refresh rate, that means everything is going to be buttery smooth. It doesn't matter if you're just browsing the internet or your social media, it's going to be very smooth here. The third thing that you should know here is that it supports up to 360Hz of touch sampling rate, and this is great for gaming because you'll just be a bit more sensitive towards your touches on the display itself. Now last but not least, this is also something that is very important that don't get mentioned very often, and that is the brightness levels goes all the way up to 1000 nits guys. This is even better than most mid-range phones which don't even hit 1000 nits, and especially here in Malaysia where we used to have very sunny sunlight, this 1000 nits is going to be very helpful if you are using your GPS and driving in a car. Your display will definitely be bright enough for you to see it. In case you are wondering about how tough the display is, it is actually protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5 guys. So again, it's pretty impressive stuff in terms of that display. Alright, so let's move on. What else do you get for your money? Well, in terms of the battery, although it is a very slim device here, you actually get a 5000 mAh battery and it supports 33 watt fast charge. The charger comes in the box just like all Realme devices. Apparently, it will do 0 to 50% in just 28 minutes. And if you want to charge all the way to 100%, it'll take approximately 70 minutes. So again, quite fast charging here for a device that costs only RM999. Moving on to the camera segment, we do have a dual sensor setup here, which is being led by that 50MP main sensor and a 2MP macro lens. Now let's take a look at a few pictures I took with the Realme 10. With good sunlight, the camera was definitely capable of taking very eye-pleasing images.
Colors turned out rather accurate and was actually reflective of what you can see with your own eyes. The pictures also carry a lot of detail and do not look over sharpened. In fact, if you look from far, you might notice that the images look a bit soft, but when you zoom in further, this is where you'll see that those 50 megapixels are actually working to capture those extra detail. Now in terms of skin tones, the Realme 10 also did a great job here. Although it doesn't provide perfect cutoffs for its blurred backgrounds, I must say that the skin tones are pretty much spot on and did not make me look weird at all. To quickly touch on night images, here you will see that the camera is once again capable of taking decent night shots that can produce minimal noise, a lot of detail, and colors that retain its original tones. For this price point, I'm not really expecting flagship grade images, but the Realme 10 does manage to do well here.
Alright guys, so at the end of the day, I do think that Realme is really pushing the boundaries of what an affordable smartphone can offer. For just Rm999, you are getting a lot of good features on this Realme 10 that you will not see on other smartphones that might even cost more. If you're looking to get yourself one of these Realme 10s, you should definitely check out Realme's ongoing offers. They are giving away like a 1-year screen crack protection, and they are also giving away a Realme band if you make your purchase earlier. Anyways, information will be down in the links below. Thank you for watching today's video all the way to the end. Don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and I do look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Stay safe everybody. Bye!